In this video, we're going to tackle the 5th grade standard for numbers and operations with fractions, number 6. This standard asks that students solve real-world problems involving multiplication of fractions and mixed numbers. And students should be able to do this by using visual models and/or equations to represent their thinking. Before we move forward, hit pause and figure the product out for these two factors. Now, you probably solved the problem by doing something like this. Went ahead and multiplied these two numbers by turning them from a mixed number into a fraction greater than 1. And then you multiply straight across, and you have 121 ninths. And then you go ahead and convert your fraction greater than 1 to a mixed number. So let's see how 5th grade students would tackle this problem through the use of a 3-act task. In this problem, students are going to be shared this video, and then they'll be asked what they notice and what they wonder. Now, when we shared this problem with students, they wanted to know how many little Post-its will it take to make up the big pad. But in order to do this, they needed some more information. And in order to solve this problem, the students needed to know the dimensions of both the little Post-it and the big pad. So here's the information that students were given. After they were given this, we asked them to reconstruct the big pad using the little pad. Let's take a look and see how some 5th grade students solve this problem conceptually.
All right, so you've just created this area model. How can you draw an area model to represent what you've just done here for multiplying 3 2/3 times 3 2/3?
Okay, so I would have 3, I would have 2 thirds, and 3 times 3 equals 9, 2 thirds times 3 equals 2. And
Voice level 1, please, thank you.
And then over here would be 4 ninths, so then I just add up 9 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 ninths equals 9, 10, 11, 13, and 4.
And let me ask you a question. How did we come up with 4 ninths down here?
2/3 times 2/3 equals 4 ninths.
2/3 times 2/3 equals 4 ninths. Awesome.
There's a lot of conceptual understanding that's taking place with these students, and sometimes not every student sees the problem this way. So in the closing of the lesson, which some people call Congress, we pull all student thinking together and we try and consolidate it so that we can move their thinking forward. Let's take a look and see what the closing of this lesson looked like.
All right, so now that we've seen the model, let's talk about this. So you've seen it. How many whole Post-its did we use?
9.
Right, so you've used 9 whole Post-its. So let's go ahead, I'm going to outline our 9 whole Post-its. And how did we get 9 whole Post-its, Sarah? What did we do?
Because it's 3 times 3 equals 9.
So you had 3 whole Post-its here, 3 whole Post-its here, and that gave you 9 there. All right? What would we do down here? Tell us what we did down here. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
You get 3/3 because you know that equals 1 whole. So then 3/3 and 3/3. You keep on going until you get whole.
Nice. So what fraction did you have down here? What fraction of a Post-it was coming down this way? 2/3. So here you have 2/3. And then how many 2/3 do we have?
2.
How many sets of 2/3 do we have?
Three, but
Talk, that's fine, go ahead, share.
but 3/3 equals, because 3 1/3 equals a whole.
Okay, so you have 3 1/3, and how many 3 1/3 do you have?
6, which
You have
is 2 wholes.
Which is 2 holes. So here's 2. Now, what do we do over here?
The same thing.
Same thing, right? So here we'll go 2/3. And this is going to be 2. Now, what do we do in that bottom corner? 2/3 times 2/3. So if we have 2/3 times 2/3, what is that? What is it?
4/9.
4/9. So here we have 4/9.
Something.
Let's take a look at this for a second here. Ready? Here we go. It's on. What are you left with?
It's like a box method.
It's like a box method, but what's the proper name for the box method?
Window.
What is it?
Area.
It's an area model using partial products. And all that we've done here is we've multiplied. What would be our expression? What two numbers are we multiplying to find 14, sorry, what did you say? 13 and 4/9, right?
Yeah.
13 and 4/9? What two numbers are we multiplying to come up?
3 2/3
Wait, don't go too fast for me here. 3 and 2/3. Yeah, tell me more.
times 3 and 2/3.
Times 3 and 2/3.
So let's take a look and see what's really happening as students are creating this area model. Well, they know that the area of the big pad, well, it's 11 by 11 inches. So as students begin to build this area model using Post-its, they start by creating 9 by 9 inches. And that's where you can see the 3 full Post-its. And then they go ahead and they multiply the 2/3 of a Post-it, because that would be 2 inches. And then at the very bottom there, well, we can see that in order to find out what's happening in that bottom right corner, just like what happened in the video, students are multiplying 2/3 times 2/3. There's the area model that students are building and constructing through this task. It's this visual model that the standard really wants us to get after. This understanding of the distributive property or partial products that we use with whole numbers. What's great about this model is that we use it with whole numbers. We use it with factoring in the middle school. This partial products and area model, well, we also use it for multiplying and factoring polynomials and binomials. And it's also used in completing the square. There's a whole lot of understanding that's taking place in this standard. Let's make sure that we're not just teaching students rules, but we're actually allowing them to build an understanding conceptually. Just remember, as we're working through this standard, the turtle won the race, so let's make sure we take our time.